Last week's spa shootings in Georgia could be the first time the hate crimes law is used in that state. A white man is charged with shooting and killing 6 women of Asian descent, as well as 2 others at spas in the Atlanta area. The suspect says the attacks were not racially motivated and that he suffered from a sex addiction. But authorities say it is still too early to rule out a hate crime. This means a new hate crimes law put into place in the state last summer could potentially be used in this case. For more on this, I want to bring in Kate Brumback. She's a reporter for the Associated Press covering this story. Kate, welcome. Explain to us what Georgia's hate crimes law is exactly and how it differs from hate crime laws in other states.
Georgia's hate crime law was enacted last year, and it instead of providing for a standalone crime, it provides for a sentencing enhancement if a person is convicted of an underlying crime. And so if a jury finds that a crime was motivated by race, color, religion, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender, or mental or physical disability, then they can, the crime would be eligible for a sentencing enhancement. Other states also have hate crime laws that just provide for a sentencing enhancement, but then some states and the federal government provide for a standalone crime where the bias motivation is enough in itself to be a standalone crime.
Gotcha. So this is just meant to be sort of a sentencing enhancement. Now, Kate, as you know, the suspect himself told police the attacks were not racially motivated. He claimed to have a sex addiction, and so he says he lashed out at the sources of temptation. But of course, authorities say they're still investigating his motive. How might they go about using the hate crimes law in this case? Because, you know, even if they couldn't prove the part of it that was a hate crime against Asian Americans, it seems like from the suspect's own words, they would certainly have a lot of evidence to prove a hate crime against women. And gender, you said, is one of the factors.
Yeah, I mean, the investigation is still in its very early stages. Investigators have not said much about what they've found. They are still investigating his motive. But yes, Georgia's hate crime law provides not only, like I said, for crimes that are motivated by race, but also crimes that are motivated by gender. So it does seem like that is an avenue that could be pursued as well.
And of course, it is also worth noting that many in the Asian American community still look at the outlines of this case and see a very strong case for a hate crime here against Asian Americans. I just want to point that out. Now, this could be the first time the Georgia hate crimes law is used. What spurred it to be created in the first place, and what implications could this have if it is used in this case?
So the Georgia hate crimes law was under consideration already last year, but it had stalled. But right after the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, who was a black man who was killed in coastal Georgia while he was out running, he was pursued by 3 white men and was shot to death. After that killing and during the national unrest last summer, the Georgia legislators kind of rushed to get the hate crime law passed. And so that was the first time, or that was when it became law. But it hasn't been used yet because pretty much we were in the middle of the pandemic when the law was passed and when it was enacted. And so courts have largely been stalled. So it has not had a chance to be used yet.
All right, so we will all be watching to see the fate of this case and this law after this horrific, spate of shootings in the Atlanta area. Kate Brumback, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.